they half of them married anyway, so they are clearly successful in what they're doing. So they're just trying to put us on game, and that's how I took it. Instead of, oh, well, that man don't know me, and he doesn't, but he's clearly trying to help. So let me just listen, and that's our problem. We don't want to listen, man.
Yeah, you know what? The married ones don't leave it at cook, clean, and shut the fuck up. That's what the married ones don't do. They don't leave it there.
So the key to the premise, I think that we need to understand is the roses and bubbles aspect and the sacrifice it takes. Jalen, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Do women learn growing up know how to treat men? Or do they only know how to be treated?
They're mainly taught how to be treated.
Is that the crux of the matter?
I would say so. If you're only taught the criteria of what you should want from someone and not what you should exude to that person to get what you want as well, or even just the type of person you want to be with, then yeah, that could breed a problem.
Yeah, it could. Do you think it most likely will?
Yeah, for everyone, yeah.
Well, because I think that's the part of the fairy tale that I think is adopted. She's waiting in the castle. He fighting all these dragons and stuff, and all she has to do is appear to be pretty. But in a relationship, it requires a whole lot more than that. To Saad's point, right?
I think it
It's a
comes
broadcast.
if they're not being taught that by their parents, family members, mentor, the next best thing is experience. Trial and error, unfortunately. So that requires you to kiss a couple frogs or whatever they call it. Since we're doing, princess analogies.
I know. I guess my concern is she the frog.
Sure, I can agree with that.
You think so? Or you think I'm preaching?
No, I can agree with that. That
It's-
also comes with experience,
What?
realizing you the problem.
What does that look like? When a woman realizes she's the frog, what does that look like? How does that manifest?
When you're realizing you're not getting the men that you thought that you were taught that you deserve.
Damn.
I think that's the best answer I could give for that.
So what does this look like in 2026?
Oh, was that an answer for me or for everybody? I don't want to.
Everybody, you can go.
Anybody else want to jump in?
You can go. It's fine.
It looks like multiple failed relationships.
Because she doesn't know she's the frog?
Correct. She still hasn't recognized that she is the common denominator in all of these failed situations.
Yeah.
Do you think that is the truth in most relationships, Callie?
That what part is the truth?
That she's the common denominator in the failure.
Well, yeah, common denominator is the common denominator. You have all these different people or whatever, and if you the one that's always getting dipped on, then it is what it is. You the common denominator.
So what does success look like in a relationship? Like, what is honestly, for a woman to be successful, what would you guys say that she has to do and needs to happen?
For it to be a success. Oh, go ahead, Becca.
No, you could go ahead. If you have an answer, I could go after you.
I was gonna say what it looks like is you're gonna have to do some rearranging in order for it to be successful, you're gonna have to meet that man halfway. You ain't perfect, he ain't perfect. You gotta meet that person halfway.
Why halfway?
Y'all just gotta be at the middle.
Why?
I wouldn't say like halfway. I understand where Callie is coming from. I would say more if you see a pattern within relationships and failed relationships, and you're the common denominator, you got to understand what it is that you need to change. Because halfway isn't always what happens. You may have more issues than he does, or he may have more issues than you. So you have to realize that, okay, this is where I see we butt heads. This is where we keep hitting the wall at. Understanding what that issue is, what it looks like, and how it manifests in the relationship, I think is more the focus, and not necessarily just halfway, because halfway might not actually complete the whole fixed situation, I would say.
Well, what you think,
Yeah,
Becca?
half of that. Yeah, halfway not being exactly 50% type shit. Talking about meeting in the middle,
I'm saying
whatever that is.
we getting up in age though, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think as you get up in age? Let me ask you guys a question. Do you think age affects women negatively as it pertains to dating more than men?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So Krishana said yes. Aaliyah said yes. They vocalized it. What do you say,
I
Becca?
said yes.
Said yes. Callie?
No.
Jay?
I don't know. I gotta think about that.
Tay?
Yes, absolutely.
Sword?
I say yes.
So let's say we're getting up in age. Remember, most of us are still single at 40, 35, 40 years old, right? You know? And oftentimes people are getting more money at that end of the spectrum too, right? Do you think a woman should require of herself to bring more than just meeting at the middle? Do you think that she should bring more than 50%? If most people think that age affects women more negatively?
Yeah, I think we should stop focusing on the man's growth entirely, because it's not our problem.
Break it down.
We can't control, kind of like what we said last week, we can't control him in any capacity. And if you try to, problems start to happen, especially if you don't like that type of dynamic where you are the one in the driver's seat. So if you're steady focusing on is he growing with me? Is he improved? You're too busy focused on outside things that you can't control and not spending time actually focusing on you. Because whether he's there or not, you should be growing because you want to grow as a woman. You should be always wanting to improve as a woman to just be a better woman, period.
Question. Should she be wanting to grow as a woman or as a wife?
I mean,
I think
obviously
as
both, yes. But I'm just speaking since you said single women, a woman, because she's not a wife yet. She's not married.
No, 100%. I'm saying though, right? Because in the context of dating per the relationship, should she be let's say grooming herself, molding herself?
Then yes, in that perspective, yes.
Do you think that that's the focus for most women, to be groom herself to become a wife?
No.
Damn.
But also, a woman
consider that to be women. Some women consider that to be well, not some. I think majority of women consider that to be male centered. Grooming yourself to be a wife for a man. They don't see that as something that we should be doing as women. It's not.
Is that right?
I think that's where sometimes.
Face.
Sorry. Oh, sorry. Oh, I said sometimes. I do agree with Aaliyah. So I agree. But I think when we think about, like Jalen said, us always trying to be, I forgot what you said, Jalen, but what you said, Basically, it's like if I'm maturing, if I'm like working on myself, if I'm figuring myself out, in return, I'm going to become a softer me. That all is going to help me be that person for my husband, which is going to be that wife.
Prove it.
How would we know that that's what he wants if we're not being taught what men want and we're trying to groom ourselves, but we're not really grooming ourselves for the men. We're grooming ourselves to what we think is going to be the best way for us to get our results. But we're not actually knowing what they want.
That's where the issues with like the promiscuity aspect comes in for women. Because we think that's what they want. We think if we're exude more of a sex appeal, that will attract the right man and he'll come along and want to marry us. And obviously, tale as old as time usually doesn't work. Majority of the time. It doesn't work. So I don't think taking it upon yourself fully trying to figure out how to be a wife is the best idea. I think you should actually look for help. You know, whoever you have to your disposal, look for help for that. But I think that's where we go wrong. Try putting all of that like teaching as a solo thing and not like finding someone who we want to be as a wife and getting help from them.
Okay.
Or just getting help, period. Yeah.
So when we have these conversations, right, Krishana?
Yes.
And I'm going to use the hyperbolic statement. When y'all hear cook, clean, and shut the fuck up, what do y'all do with that information?
First of all, your accent makes that shut the fuck up sound crazy.
Oh, sorry. I was trying to, you know what I mean? My fault.
Women don't take that. It's not received well. Like, women don't like to hear that. And then don't take it and then apply it into real life. It's disregarded. It's thrown to the back.
Pause.
It's not regarded at all. Yeah, pause.
What you think, Krishana? When they say cook, clean, and shut the F up, what are most women doing with that information?
Well, what Aaliyah said, most women are receiving it. I mean, and it also depends on how you say it, but I get your point with how you're saying it right now on the podcast, HAMP. Yeah, most women are receiving that well. However, it just depends on what you want in life, what's your goal, you know, especially when it comes down to a relationship. A lot of times, you know, from what I have seen, due to the lack of good examples growing up, you know, most women have their picking system messed up a bit. And so therefore, going back to what Jalen said about the life experiences, trial and error, you know, that's why you have a lot of those things happening where you have more mishaps than successful relationships because there aren't enough positive examples of what a healthy relationship looks like, you know, and no relationship is perfect. So even with the fairy tale, you know, Prince Charming, I believe that women hope for that, but most women are not going to align themselves to have that or sustain that type of relationship. That's my viewpoint on it.
Yeah, that's it. That's the entire viewpoint. Sure. Okay, I see what you're saying.
I think most women are saying, "Who are you talking to?"
Well, so that's so remember, I gave you the summary of the men's sentiments, right, in hyperbole, or so you got cook, clean, shut up, you got sex, silent, sandwich, right? These are hyperbolic statements. But what are women doing with this information? Are they doing like what Aaliyah said, like, yo, fuck out of here?
Yeah.
Yeah, if it's left just like that in the hyperbolic statement, to which that's what we hear majority of the time. Yeah, I'm tossing that shit right over my shoulder.
Why?
But that's our problem. That's our problem now, I think.
Go ahead, Tay.
Nah, the problem is how you talking to me. That's the problem.
Well, and No, I disagree. So I think that women can't teach themselves how to be wives. Like there are certain things we do learn, right, that are applicable. But I think the men that want them to be their wives should be the ones grooming them because, yeah, I think that's how it works. But I don't think we hold ourselves accountable enough to be like open to that possibility of, you know, finding the actual man that we want because it's not going to go how we think it's going to go most of the time. Um, but yeah, I just think it looks different for each woman. Just depends on the man because she'll most likely the woman has to do most of the adjusting, right? More adjusting than we realize. And what I see is that we're just not willing to do it.
Yeah. And so the key is he's not saying that to you. It's men giving general information out in the earth. Because remember, there was a statement. Was it Jalen that said they don't know or something to that nature, or they don't know because nobody ever taught them. But then we're having conversations where men are saying these things. And if Aaliyah is true, women are intentionally missing the information.
Not listening.
Yeah.
About right. Sounds about right.
And
Like they're not taking the guidance from the men
Right.
that they say that they want.
And I say we, me included, right? Because I'm not trying to set myself apart. But I think, again, if it's most women, like most women are right here. So, yeah, for the sake of conversation, we can be like, oh, no, I don't do that. But that's not helpful for the next person or the young lady listening who needs this guidance from us. So that's, just keeping that in mind. It's like, let's call a spade, so because you can't fix the problem if you don't see it. So
Yeah.
that's half the battle. Like if we could just see what they're saying and not get so emotional or in our feelings about how they're saying it, because at the end of the day, that does not matter. The fact that you are not giving that man what he wants or needs is the problem. And that's why we get what we get. And that's why the success looks how it does.
Jesus.
So
Yeah, nah.
I
Just because I want a
agree.
man
Wait,
don't mean that he's gonna talk to me any kind of
I was
way.
about
Like
to
that's
say,
not happening.
I agree with everything that you said, Coach Tay. Especially like just hearing them and understanding. The only thing that I don't agree with is tone definitely matters. How that message is conveyed definitely matters. So, I mean,
so a fail. Think
it
about this,
does.
Shorty.
Yeah, it does.
It
Because
does
just like he don't want you talking to, just like he don't want you talking to him no certain kind of way. Riverside, same shit.
Remember what we're saying.
What
Just
we talking about?
let me clarify once more. Right. These are general statements. You're not even being talked to directly, right? You could overhear this conversation. You can tune into a live panel and hear these people conversing. You see? So you have no reason to be offended by the tone because it's not being directed at you. However, you can discern the information and comprehend the information. Are you saying that even though they're not talking to you any kind of way and you can discern the information, you ignore it because you don't like the delivery?
No, I think
Yes.
no.
Yeah.
Yes. That's
no.
what she's saying.
Wow.
No,
Yeah,
I'm not
dismiss.
talking.
I'm going to
I'm not
dismiss
talking
it because
about
of the delivery.
I'm not saying that. So let her speak for her. What I'm saying is when it's a broad statement like that, yes, I can definitely receive that. But in most of the time when people are tapping out and saying that they don't receive it, is because this is a one-on-one situation. And how it's being conveyed by their partner may not, the tone matters, the presentation, all of that matters.
But
so in a general sense,
let me interject this,
yes.
right? That's not the context of the conversation, right? The context of the conversation is you hear the information. Nobody's speaking to you rudely. What do we do with that information? Right? You hear the information. Nobody's speaking you to directly or rudely. You know what most men are saying. And because you don't like how that information being delivered to a third party, we think that it's applicable to ignore it.
It's not applicable to ignore it, but most often after that, cook, clean, and shut the fuck up comment also is the comment that says the woman is worth nothing. The woman has not contributed anything. Well, so yes, sometimes the tone and delivery matters.
Well, here's what you can't do. Don't start adding things, right? We talking about exactly what we're talking about. So I was coaching a kid today, right, Saad? And he wanted something. You see? These women don't want to be alone. You want a relationship, so you want to figure out what works, right? Or am I bugging? And I said, you know what? I'm done. You're not working hard enough. I'm out. Let me know when you're ready to work. He texts me, yo, I fucked that up. He ain't say, yo, coach, you was talking to me mean because he wanted something. So at what point do you get over yourself? I guess is my question.
When you realize that it's a simplicity instead of like a demand. Like, this is all I want from you. Instead of looking at it for its tone, like you said, it's just hyperbolic as far as like what they're asking. But we need to take it for face value and not take it, or take it underneath and don't take it as face value if those are the words that we're hearing and we don't like what's being said. We just take it like, okay, yeah, let's do the due diligence of making sure he's fed, making sure he's loved, all those things, and making sure, you know, the house is peaceful. Like, we can put it in our own words without making it sound hyperbolic, basically, like what he was saying.
And there are men out there that don't say it like that.
Exactly, and those are the people that I look at. Not the ones that's over here talking about cook, clean, and shut the fuck up. But whatchamacallit, the thing is that HAMP, in your example or whatever like that, yes, y'all had a rapport with each other. And what do you always say as well? Don't cuss them if you don't love them. These are a bunch of random strangers up here. I don't know if they love me or not. I don't know if they love Black women or not. What I hear is what I hear. So unless there is further explanation past cook, clean, and shut the fuck up, after shut the fuck up, my ears is off.
Here's the fault in your understanding.
What? I'm not listening to them.
No, but here's the fault in your understanding based on the context of our conversation. You aren't him. You are the kid behind me hearing me talk to him. Hey, keep your right hand up. When you jab, bring your hand back to your face. You see? I'm telling him all types of shit. You being lazy, you being this, but I'm coaching him in the process, right? And so what happens is the kid behind me not getting cussed out, but he can hear the coaching. And so while he's on his bag, he says, jab, bring it back, right? Jab, cross, slip. You see, because he's still taking the coaching because he ain't getting cussed out. So I'm figuring out, why are we having a difficult time doing that?
You just said he ain't being cussed out.
I know, but you're him, right? Because in the conversation, you're not even being engaged. You're just listening.
Right.
I know, but
what
remember,
I'm
Cal,
saying is, are you
go ahead.
Go ahead.
Well, remember, because you said, hey, even if I'm watching a conversation, listening to it, if I don't like the tone, I'm gonna ignore it. But I was saying you're not even being engaged. You heard this conversation happen numerous of times without you being involved. So you're the kid at the other heavy bag saying, oh shit, let me do this, right? Because that works. But you saying y'all can't do that because you don't like how he talking to her. Fuck how he talking to her. What is he saying?
Yeah, I don't hear what he's saying. I hear the tone. Ugh. And therefore, that is somebody that I would not want to be engaged with because he don't know how he don't know how to talk to people.
It has to be purposeful at this point. Like, I feel like it's on purpose. Like,
yeah, it's on purpose.
Yeah.
That is. Go ahead, Jalen. Go ahead. What you thinking? Don't just laugh to yourself. We want to know.
No, it's just Callie is very matter of fact. It makes me laugh. No, I think the advice does come into play when a woman hits rock bottom.
Jesus.
But for women, it never seems like they hit rock bottom.
Oh no, they do. Behind closed doors. Why most women don't talk about their rock bottom unless it's somebody they truly cherish. They don't talk about those rock bottoms where they finally like, you know what? That advice that I've been ignoring, I'm actually gonna take it now. Cause you don't have no other option. What you got to lose at that point? Either that or it's somebody you really want to keep. You really want to keep, which is that plays into the dynamic of wanting to be with a man who's above you in every way. Because you actually want to keep that one. Therefore, you're willing to do those hard things to keep him. Those are the only two scenarios I think that harsh advice you said comes into play for women. Majority of women.
By then it's too late.
It don't matter. I answered your question. I'm just answering a question.
I know, but we talking about the fairy tale is over with. You heard? So now you wait until it's too late to get right. You've heard the messaging previous to that man. You want to be prepared. If I go into the Super Bowl not having practiced or watching film, how do I expect to be successful? That's moronic. Oh, now this nigga's Superman, so I'm going to do these things. How? I never did them before. You have to hone these skills, right? Or no?
Yes, you do.
But now,
because he experienced trial and error.
I know, but this the Super Bowl. I was getting ready to say. But Callie,
would you hone those skills through experience?
No, because to Jalen's example, you didn't like them niggas. So now it's this one nigga that made an impression on you that you want to change for, but now you expect to adopt all these ideologies that you never practiced and then put them in play and bring them to fruition. That is unrealistic.
That's why you need experience.
Callie, you got it. Come on now. But throw that bottle across the room. Do you hear? Come on, you gotta follow what's being said.
Oh my God, and she actually has a bottle.
You gotta follow what's being said, right? She's saying none of them niggas mattered. Now the nigga that matters, you willing to do things for him and there by proxy change. But that means you never done these things previously. So how do you expect to exude these traits and qualities when you never ever developed them?
I said it last week.
Yes, man.
Any nigga, you have put up a complete wall. You don't want to change nothing for. You don't. That's not the one. Full stop. If you just have this whole wall up, you don't want to move at all, and you expect him to do everything, you don't want to change at all. That's not the one. You're not gonna grow with him. You just gonna stay the same. You're gonna be the same motherfucker that you were when you met him. No growth, no improvement. Just same bitch.
Except for Coach Tay, you ain't the one. You the frog, remember?
Here he go.
You the frog. You ain't the one. He not opening your car door. He's slamming your shit after you get out.
I want to break your glasses.
I'm just saying, like,
yeah, that's the one. That's the one that got away, man. I mean,
yeah,
what we
that's
about?
the one that got away. Yeah.
But so, Coach Tay, do you hear them? They're practicing negative traits with the niggas they don't like. Those are the traits that are being developed. Am I not? Are y'all hearing yourselves?
Yes, that's what I just said. Yeah, I said it. Yeah, no, I heard it. Yeah.
But that's
somebody bring me a shot glass.
I'm not saying it's the right thing to do. I'm saying you asking questions.
But we gonna keep saying.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know we was living in fairy tale land where you get it right on the first try. My bad.
Look at Callie.
Look at Callie. It's not about getting it right on the first try. But it's not about getting right on the first try. But it's about understanding that, like, you're practicing on somebody you don't like. You're intentionally, I'm not changing this. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that. It's not about getting it right on the first try. Nobody's talking about that.
Yeah.
But you're intentionally saying, I'm not going to do the thing that this man that I chose to be with would like me to do. That's more of the whole thing.
You can't go into it like that and then expect it to be anything. I mean, I'm not even talking about the fairy tale. To realistically be successful, And then for us to miss the fact that the love is actually in the correction, that's another underlying problem.
Damn.
The love is in the correction. Like they're telling us because they can't. Now, again, I get it. It didn't feel good to me when I heard it. It doesn't, well, regardless, just then having the conversation, I was exposed to, and I just saw that, okay, well, this is a common theme. They're talking about it a lot. So let me really hone into what they're saying, even though I may not agree with it, but it does me justice to listen because I do want to be a wife. I do want to make sure I'm being, what I'm supposed to be. So it's like, if I'm showing you the way, I'm literally telling you what the issues are, and then you're fighting me. That means you don't want to change.
From a bunch of niggas that say they don't want to be married. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be trying, even if they saying they don't want to be married, you shouldn't be trying to do that because of what they're saying.
Yo, Aaliyah,
it's just
what she's saying is not true. What she's saying is not true.
Married or not, it doesn't matter. Because if they're married, that means they have success.
But Coach State, allow me to interject this. What Callie's saying is not true. Why do we have to have a conversation about that? Right? Most of the men that she interact with say they want to get married, except for a couple. That's not true. And then half of the men are married. It's not true. It's not true.
There's a whole discussion. Dead ass. They don't leave it there.
It just
there's
seems
a whole
like
discussion,
we in a constant
and there's a whole context behind what it is that they mean when they say this one line. It's not left just there at cook, clean, and shut the fuck up.
Women,
those are the motherfuckers I listen to.
They're not our enemy.
I'm gonna shut up. Women, the only one that need context with anything. Men are very simple. They're straight to the point. They're gonna tell you what it is. So all this, they don't need to give us context. They just gonna say what it is. But because I don't like the way it sounds, that doesn't mean I'm not going to take it in. I might not like it ever, right? The way it felt when he said it, but I have to take it in because it's clearly something that it's a it's bigger than me, right? Like this is a problem in our community. It's not just random women. Like there's an issue, guys. There's a bigger issue, and we're just not seeing it. But I'm gonna go with you.
You know what? I understand a lot of the points that everybody up here is saying. What I will say is this: I think that as women, we should practice good manners regardless. I don't believe that you have to accept a man that tells you in that type of way. Even though I know we're using this example, so I know it's not a realistic thing. But I wouldn't encourage someone to be talked to disrespectfully. I think that you should catch the message for sure, but know that there are men out there that don't actually talk like that. We don't have to accept that type of language because every man does not talk like that. But there is truth in the simplicity of the thing. So I think that's something that's getting missed here. It's almost as if it's just a cook, clean, and shut the F up. I don't talk like that, so that's why I'm phrasing it like that. So there's truth in what's being said. Yeah.
Krishana, the context of the go ahead, Leah, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
No, it just seems like we receive the information as if they're the enemy. Like we're not even as if they're like they're the enemy telling us something, which is why we don't want to receive it. And it's just like, why are we looking at it like that? Why are men our enemy? If they're giving general advice, right? And this is something that we want to achieve. Why don't we see it how Coach Tay said it? Like they putting us on game. They trying to put us on. Why do we see it as, oh, I'm disregarding that. Like I'm not taking in this information. I'm not gonna apply it. I'm gonna just disregard it because it doesn't matter.
It's because of what it makes us feel like. It's because of what it makes us feel like. That's the problem. I think sometimes.
Number one, they say that we the ops.
That's a good point, Becca.
Number two is because they not talking to us. Remember?
Who said you the ops?
They not. Whoever it is I'm talking about. They not talking to us. Number one, we remember we listening. They're not talking to us. They're not trying to put us up on game about anything. They're not even talking to us.
What are you talking about, Callie? If you are listening in on a conversation, you can take whatever information out of that conversation that pertains to you. Come on, that's disingenuous, right? I never seen a losing ass nigga tell you what he is ain't gonna listen to. A bunch of losing ass people talking about I don't like how you said it, nigga. You losing. I can't believe the audacity. It's almost like fucking caucasity, like some shit white people would do. Like it's crazy that we losing and we talking about I don't like how you said it. That shit is diabolical.
Yeah, tone matters though.
Yeah, I agree. Except for when I'm fucking losing. Right? If I'm trying to get on high, then I need to take information. I can't afford. Yeah, I can't afford to be sensitive. Because I'm losing, remember? Krishana, what you said is viable, right? I had a stream when it was just me.
Killing M donated $20 through Super Chat. No one said anything about men being our enemy. We just don't want to be disrespected in the name of correction.
Yeah, and that's the problem, right? We keep on having a conversation that's not being had. You guys have heard this general information before and you can apply it, but you choose not to when nobody's talking to you any type of way. They may have a conversation with somebody else and you can hear the information. Here's the other thing. The man that you get with is most likely not talking like this, but he agrees with those men. When I tell you, don't take a drink from a nigga, because that's how 99% of men get down. When I tell you he hate every single one of your exes, because that's how 99% of niggas get down. When I tell you no male friends, that's because that's how 99% of niggas really think and get down. If he want to placate to you, he may say it's okay. He don't fucking mean it. Right? And so when you get with that man, if I tell you that before you get to him, you should adopt that information. You don't even got to wait for him. But if I say it rudely, then you don't accept that information. That shit is damn near trifling.
Well, I mean, that's why I listen to you and I don't listen to nobody else.
But Cal, I know I love you too, but I'm saying, like, outside of me and you, like, you know what I'm saying?
I'm saying, why do you think I'm here?
No,
and I ain't nowhere else.
But it's bigger than Nino Brown or DJ Hamp.
Well, I'm sorry. Unfortunately, everybody that I came to or whatever like that is freaking Nino Brown and not Hampton Watson. All right.
The third.
My bad. The third.
No, but I'm saying, like, yo,
you
like,
there's a reason. There is a reason. Okay, and that is because the quote unquote married niggas that I be talking about provide added context, and they don't leave these niggas thinking that because they're not talking to us. They don't leave these niggas thinking that they can go on ahead and leave it at cook, clean, and shut the fuck up. That's why.